We're going to jump to Denver now, and we got a couple signings there. So the first one, we got Zach Allen, who I know you're a fan of, and you had mentioned him on one of our prior shows this season. He went from the Arizona Cardinals defensive end to Denver, of course, 3 years, but $47.5 million. I mean, he got a big chunk of money if you kind of look at the contracts that are given out here. And then Alex Singleton is back as well. He had previously gone there after being I don't even think he was traded. I think he was released by Philly. He was a free agent and went to Denver. 3 years, $18 million. So a nice chunk of money for him too. Singleton, of course, is one of those guys where, we talked about prior, a couple of them, but you can just plug and play them in and they're going to get you tackles, sort of like Pratt that we mentioned, where Singleton is a tackle machine. Not amazing in coverage, doesn't do anything like overly outstanding, but he's reliable. And for our IDP purposes, he gets you tons of tackles. Whereas, Zach Allen had a great season. He's sort of one of those guys that's gotten better each year. He is taking the place of Draymond Jones. I think it's Draymond Jones as they released and went to Seattle. I don't know if we're getting to that one or not, but sort of a replacement player there. I know you're a big fan of Zach Allen, sort of going from the same set sort of defense, 3-4 base. How are you feeling about him on Denver now?
Yeah, I actually really like this, and I think that he is a quality player. I was pretty shocked that Arizona didn't bring him back, and I don't know what Arizona has going on right now, but it's not very good. Denver though needs, they were a pretty good defense last year, but I definitely think this is a piece that is going to be a positive addition for them. I think that what he does, assume he'll be opposite of Randy Gregory. I know that they have Jonathan Harris listed as the right defensive end, but the way their defense operates, I think Randy Gregory, he comes off the edge quite a bit. If he's healthy this season and ready to go, then I think it's going to complement what Zach Allen does, which is more of a powerful pass rush, less a speed rush and more of just like the power rusher. And Zach Allen, he can get around though, and he can make plays, and he showed that last season. So I kind of expect more of the same from him at linebacker. We talked about Alex Singleton here. They still have Josie Jewell, Baron Browning, who actually played decent at times, but again, he had his own injury battles that he was dealing with. So they kind of got some guys at linebacker that they could probably plug and play, and we'll see who's healthy and we'll see who's on the field the most and let that kind of shake out. I'm not really sure for Alex Singleton what kind of value he'll have this season or what kind of role he'll have. Again, it goes back to that opportunity thing, right? So if he gets the opportunity, it could work out for him, but with as many people as they have and no one really standing out as the clear cut, like, hey, this is the guy you want to have on your team, I'm not so sure about that. But Zach Allen, I think of the two, is a really significant signing for Denver and will be a big difference maker for sure.
And when you look at Zach Allen's stats compared to what Draymond Jones did last year, I mean, they're almost identical. Draymond had one more sack. Zach Allen had one more tackle for a loss. They both had 47 combined tackles, and then it was 23 and 24 split. One went one way, one went the other. A couple pass deflections in there. Draymond Jones has had that production, as far as the big plays, a little bit more. 2 prior years, he had 12 combined tackles, where Zach Allen had 6. But again, like you said, Zach Allen's going to a better defense overall here. And I think that's going to matter, especially in that secondary play where they still have a lot of really nice pieces in that Denver secondary to help create some of those pressure sacks.
Yep.
And when you look at Alex Singleton, I was trying to remember which year it was, and apparently it was 2 years ago. I don't know how that goes. That Josie Jewell only played in a couple games. He did play 13 games this past year and 128 combined tackles. Mm-hmm. But you look at Alex Singleton, he played in 17 games, started 12. So, he had more games this year. He had 163 combined tackles. I mean, he's just eating those things up for Denver and not really getting you a whole lot in tackles for a loss. He had 6. He had no sacks. In fact, in 4 years, he has 2 sacks total in his career. 8 pass deflections in 4 years. So you're really only just getting tackles, and that's where you need to know your league too. If it's a big play league, it isn't just, tackle heavy or something, probably not as valuable. But if you're looking for a guy to just get you tackles in the league, Alex Singleton, I think, and probably even Josie Jewell, if those are the two, are going to be nice guys that aren't going to be big names that you can get for your team.